Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And she's here.
I am here.
She has actually been missing from the last couple videos. She has not been feeling well.
I cleared my Fiverr schedule just to be here.
She cleared the Fiverr schedule. Yeah, I actually ran out of money. I had to go take out a loan to be able to buy some more Geeky. No, what brought Geeky out was She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Is it my birthday?
It's not your birthday, but we're gonna talk about. There's a new clip coming out from Emerald City Comic-Con with showrunner Noelle Stephenson that pretty much confirms, I guess, everything we've been saying.
It sums up everything I've been saying.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh my god, you're just like handing it to me. It's so great. Anyway,
oh my god. But okay, before we go there, basically, I retweeted this on the CLOWNFISH TV Twitter earlier today. This brilliant cartoon by Sarah Scribbles, and she talks about the original author, not wanting to cross certain lines with their creation. Then here comes a fanfic writer, and the fanfic writer's like cracking her knuckles. Because basically, we've been speculating that She-Ra and the Princesses of Power is a paid fan fiction.
Oh, and the last thing we had that was that several-minute video kind of confirmed it, but this one really, perfect.
And now this isn't to, we keep pointing out Noelle Stephenson. She is, of course, the showrunner. We're not trying to throw her under the wheels of the bus. We're trying to gain an understanding as to why these... Oh,
I understood why.
Yeah.
We're trying to explain to you why things are the way they are.
Why do these reboots always wind up deviating so much from the source material? And we joked before, we said, look, this show, She-Ra, because of its complete disregard for the original and disregard for the original, the people behind the original, and the voice actors and all of that, and the fans of the original, that it is basically by Tumblr for Tumblr, and it feels like a fan fiction, a paid fan fiction, and now we basically have it coming from Noelle Stephenson herself, that's kind of how she views the show.
It's funny. Like I said, we're not trying to pick on her specifically, but when you put yourself out there as a showrunner and you change pretty much everything about the show, and you keep going out there doing these interviews, saying this stuff, you're kind of like, asking for it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Are we gonna play this?
Well, first of all, this is Syfy again. Oh, it's Syfy again.
Surprise!
Because Syfy is owned by NBC, who owns Dreamworks, who does She-Ra. So
almost all of the exclusive interviews with showrunner Noelle Stephenson have been on Syfy.
And you know my problem with it is too. And I don't mean to pick on this person, but she keeps putting herself out there as every interview or everything about She-Ra she has to be there. It has to be about her more than it's about She-Ra. So this is response to the fact that that's how they want to play it. That's how I'll respond to it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with I don't disagree with this. If you don't like a story, write it yourself. 100% agree with that. I think you should write your own stories. I don't think you should, repurpose other stories.
No.
I think, and that's all they're doing. I think you should go out and write your own story. So I agree. If you don't like something, go write your own. Yes. Not when it comes to established IP with a fan base.
Yeah. There are certain things that a built-in audience expect, and I understand, you want to change it up a little bit, but I'm like, when you get to the point where it's no longer recognizable, what is the purpose other than the name recognition?
Right.
Of even rebooting it? Why don't you just start over?
Because you can still get some of the ideas you want to do and some new things you want to do into it, but you have to make it recognizable to the audience that exists. There's something called compromise. It's this word that means you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you kind of find a happy middle ground, and you go from that. And there is no such thing as compromise when it comes to these people. It's my way or the highway. And it's like, when you have an IP that's established, you need to understand that you must compromise. If you deviate too far too fast, you're going to lose your fan base. And then really, 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 really bad idea is to then turn around and insult your fan base at every opportunity you can. And then be like, I don't understand. I didn't know She-Ra's fan base had so many misogynists, sexist, haters. And it's like, they didn't. You just, apparently bring out the worst in people, which is not a compliment. Anyway.
To be fair, though, she has not been as bad as, like, Ryan Johnson going out there and actually attacking
No, I don't think
fans.
she does.
But the media around She-Ra has been...
I blame the media more than I blame her.
Yeah, attacking old school fans for months before the show even premiered.
Right. I don't blame her so much as I blame the media on this one. I do blame her on the fact that she seems completely oblivious to the fact that it's a bad idea.
So... we'll take a look at this video. Again, this is just the marketing. Again, it's all Noelle Stephenson. Noelle Stephenson can do no wrong. And it's basically...
No, she can. She doesn't, Like, trust me.
It's a fan fiction. She admits it's fan fiction.
Well, that's what I thought was funny, because if you remember the video when they premiered it or whatever, right before they premiered it at New York City Comic Con, and they talked to her. She talked about how she got the idea for doing her stories. Well, she played with the toys. She never watched the show.
Yeah,
she played with the toys
and made up her own
and then made up her own stories to go with it. Which the problem with that is, you know, that's great if you're writing something new that's yours. If you're writing something that belongs to, that's already established IP, already has a fan base, everything else, you can't just say, you know, oh look, I got a toy box, and now I can't wait till I do my new show. I'm gonna be doing. I grew up playing with my Darth Vader figure, my Picard figure, Rainbow Bright, and you know, Blueberry Muffin from Strawberry Shortcake, and I cannot wait until I do my new show where Picard and Vader are brothers. And they want to date, you know, Rainbow Bright and Blueberry Muffin. So,
and each other.
And yeah, you know, but they can't because they're together. And that's my new show because I based it off all the stories I made in my head from my toy box when I was a child.
Well, speaking of Rainbow Bright, like the Rainbow Bright comic book pulled in elements from other shows that weren't Rainbow Bright. And I think we actually see that. We see this like Frankensteining of pop culture ideas. We saw it in The Last Jedi, where there were a lot of ideas that were sort of, you know, pulled in from other franchises, not Star Wars, you know, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, if Rian Johnson came up with these ideas as a kid playing with a Star Wars toy, that was like the freaking saddest, like depressing Luke Skywalker, like, I freaking hate you, Luke, go die.
Well, it's funny, yeah, it's funny though, because she's going to talk a lot about Star Wars, and you know what? Yeah, I can see she tried to go Star Wars several times in She-Ra, not very successfully.
Yeah.
But I think she's trying to cross the streams. See what I did there? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that Venkman's going to be in my show too. So.
Well, there's going to be a character. No, because a lot of these characters actually they do feel more like Star Wars. Like Hordak in this show feels more like the Emperor than he does Hordak. You barely see him. He just barks out orders and disappears
I like Star
in the
Wars
shadows.
too. I actually wrote a couple of my own Star Wars stories too. The difference is I would never take those and say, guess what? It's canon now, bitches. You know, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
What was something maybe from your childhood that you felt about the same way maybe a lot of She-Ra fans probably feel about She-Ra?
So I was a huge Star Wars fan.
Me too.
A huge Star Wars fan. I stole my brother's friend's Star Wars action figures and refused to give them back.
I bought my own
and I didn't know anything about Star Wars at all. I just had the action figures, so I made up stories for them. I made up names, and then I started getting into the movie.
Right. See? I didn't know anything about them, but I had the toys. So I made up names, and I made up stories, you know, and then I went and watched the movies. This is exactly what you've been saying. All I'm saying is, everybody keeps saying that I'm full of it. I am not full of it. This confirms everything I've been saying.
But this is Tumblr mindset. This is the Tumblr mindset where, because I know, like in Noelle Stevenson's case, I know I've read interviews with her before where she said like she didn't know really anything about Marvel Comics, but she was into the movies and she did like little fan comics of the movie characters. And next thing you know, she's like working for Marvel Comics, like legitimately.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, this is just sort of this mind.
There's more to it.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But there's this mindset of, you know, with Tumblr, like, you know, the headcanon, like we're joking about, like, well, I thought of it. So
I already the first comment underneath it.
Absolutely. Okay, Jordan, who is animated, says, I absolutely love her mindset with that. It's the same kind of idea that made me start writing a spec Marvel Secret Wars script. My desire to explore the black suit further.
Anyway, continue.
Oh my god, this is Tumblr. This is so Tumblr.
Well, they're all on Twitter now.
And I was just like, you know, I was done for it. I had like 30 minutes of like internet time a day at that time, and so I would just spend the whole time on the Star Wars website just like going through all of the entries, reading about background characters, and I developed like this huge love for I've told this story so many times, but you know, it's true.
All right, well, the next question.
There's a character in episode 2, the best Star Wars movie, obviously, as we all agree.
What? Well, I go pause for a minute. Completely give her credit for saying one of the best Star Wars movies is a prequel movie.
That takes some guts.
No, I will 100% give her credit for that because she's not like going along with everybody else.
That is true.
I will give her props for this because I give her complete props on that one.
Because most people, even as far as the prequels are concerned, most people rank Attack of the Clones as being probably the worst of the prequels.
But you know what? I give her props.
I will give her props.
I will give her props for that.
I will give her props.
I will give her that.
Okay.
Name's Zam Wetzel, who is a shape-shifting bounty hunter who dies 5 minutes in. Sorry for the spoilers. And I became obsessed with her at that age. And I took her action figure with me to see the movie before it was even out. And then I saw the movie and she died, and I was like, well, crap. And then I went home and I was like, I'm gonna fix this. And so I created a whole story that was just about her. And I think that's what kind of kicked off my interest in storytelling. I stayed interested in Star Wars, but
pause for a second. That's fine. I mean, if you're gonna write, let's be honest here. Most people start off writing stories by doing fan fictions.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I 100% agree with her on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I will give her that. But then that writing your own fan fictions is one thing. Making a show with an established IP your fan fiction is something completely different.
Yeah, that's just it. There's baggage that comes with it. You
can't just toss out the window because you don't like it.
I guess if you want to refer to existing fans of these IPs as baggage, but there is baggage that comes with.
But I'm just saying, but that's what they do. They treat you like they're your baggage.
Yeah.
Like they think they can just waltz right in and I can just mold this into whatever I want it to be, and everybody's supposed to be on board with it. And that's just not that. That's completely cray right there.
No, make something new. Make something new. Take some.
Or meet in the middle. Take some new ideas with some, but keep it very, very familiar. And then don't call fans names they don't like it, because they're not all going to like it, and that's fine. If you like the new She-Ra, that is completely cool. I have no problem with that. People tell us all the time, well, I like it. That's okay.
It's totally fine.
We are never going to be mean to you for liking something we don't like. But but people don't like it, that doesn't make them bad people either. And they don't like it. There's valid reasons for not liking the new show. And you know what? That does not make you a bad person. So this whole idea that if you don't agree, you're a bad person is what I take offense to. Go ahead.
And attacking the fans.
And again, it's not. I don't blame it on that on her. I blame it on the PR.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I kind of splintered off in this direction of I really want to know more about this really cool looking shape-shifting bounty hunter. And I think that's sort of that drive has brought me, it's been, I think, what sparked every single story that I've told. It's just
we noticed.
Zeroing in on some piece and just being I want to know more. I'm going to try and tell this story, flesh this out, make this a real thing.
Exactly. And this is what we have in the other video too. I want to know more. Me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. We're trying not to bash on, Stephenson. She's young. Yeah, she will learn. But when you're dealing, again, with an existing fan base, you really do have to find that balance between, telling the stories you want to tell and telling the kinds of stories that fit with the pre-existing universe and not throwing everything out because it doesn't jive with your headcanon. And she did say in a previous live streams, New York Comic Con, that she didn't really have any familiarity with She-Ra except she played with the toys.
And apparently, as she's comparing it to this too, same thing. I played with the Star Wars toys. I didn't know what they were. I made up my own stories. And again, making up your own stories and starting with fan fiction is great. Understanding that it's just fan fiction. It is not the way it's, your story does not mean that's the way it has to go because it's your story. And I think that's where people they get mad. We've had people run-ins with fans writing stuff on ours, and then they get mad when your story doesn't go the way their fan fiction does. And it's it's not gonna, because it's our story.
Yeah, there's a sense of ownership with fandoms now, and this is very much the Tumblr
it's been
culture.
Just in the last few years. It's crazy
that if a fan likes something, and again, it's so funny, they always blame the old school fans. They're like, they don't own it, we can do whatever we want. But then if you mess with their ships or you mess with their whatever their headcanon is, these people freak out, and that's okay. But if you're an older fan and you've got certain expectations from a franchise that you've poured time and money into over the years, and then
it's been consistent for how many years,
right? And you're told that you're an awful person because you're old, you're out of touch, and you're a dinosaur. And we saw this especially with Star Wars, where they don't want the old fans.
Well, let's be honest. This whole throwing the old out the window and completely rewriting everything has only been something that's been happening in the last few years.
Yeah, it's only the last 5 or 6 years.
We're talking about 30 plus years of established fan base on this stuff, and then even though when new things have been added, it stays to the canon. And then we just completely changed it in the last few years because it's just this new group of people think that's how you do it. And then when you get mad, you don't like their fanfic. Well, there's something wrong with you. Couldn't be me. My story's perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a weird situation that we're finding ourselves in. And I think hopefully people back off a little bit from this and start to realize the fans do. I guess I don't want to say that fans are entitled, but I think if fans have certain expectations set. And when they put years and years into a franchise and lots of money, I mean, Star Wars fans, Transformers fans,
I'm looking
She-Ra
at the pile
fans.
of toys right now across from us,
right?
With the established franchise.
And then when you go change everything and then tell people they have no right to be angry, when you go to McDonald's and all of a sudden they start serving pizza, not hamburgers, and you tell them that they're awful because they don't like your pizza because they go to McDonald's for a hamburger and not pizza, it doesn't play very well. There would be national news. There'd be freaking outrage all over. Ask McDonald's how the Arch Deluxe went.
Well, it's kind of like when IHOP changed their name last summer.
Oh,
International House of Burgers. People lost their shit because they're like, I'm going to IHOP for pancakes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to IHOP for burgers.
Yeah.
It just completely backfired on them. Backfired big time because you can't do that. People have you have years and years, decades of goodwill with fans, and then somebody comes in and just flips everything on its head, and then their PR is not necessarily her fault. I'm just saying it's the PR campaign is this person's a genius, and all of you who don't agree are just misogynist, racist, sexist, immature trolls, incels. Which I love when they call us incels. That's always funny.
I always find
that hilarious.
Kids would love that.
I'm just like you're going to have backlash, and if you don't want that backlash, you need to, one, not treat the fans like shit, and two, find a happy medium where you can compromise your new ideas with something that's established before, so it's not such a jarring difference.
Yeah, I think basically what happened is they kind of let her run in whichever direction she wanted to run in with this, pretty much. And then they didn't realize until they started to kind of leak stuff out there that oh shoot, this actually does have a fan base. So let's go into
How would you not know it has a fan base?
Offense mode. I think they're like, well, it's like so old, like nobody really cares about old things anymore. It's like really, really old.
I mean, people wanted it. People wanted an update. People were very, very, very excited about it. I was at first too. It's like, oh my god, they're bringing She-Ra back. Oh my god, it's Netflix. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I just saw who's running it.
That's completely honest.
I knew.
That is not.
I knew we were getting.
If you've been following comics, and you've followed Stephenson on Twitter, just we knew as soon as she was announced as showrunner that this was going to have very, very little to do with the original show.
And she left all those tweets up. I think she took them down.
She took a lot down.
Did she really?
Yeah, I think she did.
Because I mean,
I don't even know if I follow her.
If you had been around a couple years ago, the tweets and the constant trolling of men, it was so ridiculous. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think she's grown up a little bit since then, but still, it's just that Tumblr mindset, and I think we see it with Thundercats Roar 2, where it's almost like, oh my god, my older brother, he like Thundercats, but I hate my older brother, so I'm gonna make Thundercats like these little cartoon pussies.
Okay, you know what? Noelle Stephenson did nothing remotely as bad as Thundercats Roar.
That is true.
I mean, I will give her
that.
She did not do anything even as nearly as bad as that. What that is. I mean, she at least kept somewhat similar-ish. But yeah, she's nowhere near as bad. I'm not even gonna throw her in the same category as Thundercats Roar.
I think if she had just done a new show that was completely new from the ground up, because honestly, the audience is watching She-Ra has no freaking idea what the original show was like. So it could have literally been anything, like Lady with a Sword, Magic Princess Power Hour or something, and people still would have been into it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the new show. But mostly what I don't like about it has been not even the show so much. It's just been this PR around it has just been so toxic and abusive and bullshit. And that's what I hate the most. The only reason I'm bringing her up at all in these last couple interviews is because this is what we've been saying. We kept saying, I think what's going on is this. I think what's going on is this. And people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. She's flat out come out and said, Exactly what we said.
She basically just played with the toys, made up her own story. In this case, it was like, here's She-Ra. Oh, I remember those toys. Okay, well, in my head, this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and oh, they're too pretty, so I'm going to unpretty them, and
right.
you know,
and
I'm going to make up
exactly what we said was going on.
totally different backstories for all these characters. I'm going to make Frosta a little Eskimo girl for whatever reason.
Yeah, you know what? When they're, it actually amuses me. When they're trying so hard to not be, like, what's the word?
Stereotypical?
When they're trying so hard to be diverse, all the result is stereotyping really bad. It's like they're stereotype. To try to diversify. They diversify by using stereotypes, which I find kind of funny.
Oh my God! It's like we need an ethnic character. So okay, Frosta, she likes cold. She's gonna be an Eskimo.
I know. I'm just like, what?
Okay.
When I saw that, oh my God, that was too funny.
Oh my God!
Like, yeah,
so,
let's go.
And yeah, I'm just like, come on. But yeah, I mean, the show is
Perfume
what it is.
is a flower girl, so it's got to be a hippie.
And she looks like Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah,
like she literally
it's
is
gotta
like
be a hippie because she's a flower child.
I'm like, oh my God.
Hippie. I'm just like,
oh my God! Yeah, I know. Thankfully, they will not be touching He-Man, and I really do think what's going to happen is Mattel is going to, whenever this series runs its course, they're going to reboot She-Ra somehow, maybe as part of Masters of the Universe. Who knows? But they're looking to do more and more of their own stuff in-house.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think that they'll stay away from it now after this. We'll get He-Man, but She-Ra, what I was so excited was we never were getting She-Ra. Every time it was supposed to be her turn, something would happen, they'd cancel it.
Yeah.
I would get so excited, and then it would get pulled away, and then we finally get it, and it's not really She-Ra. I mean, it's She-Ra name only. It is a completely new She-Ra. This has nothing to do with the She-Ra that I loved. And, that's fine, whatever. But you know what? Don't go calling me names, though, because I don't like it. I don't like it. I do like. I will give you Catra though. Catra is better in this one.
Yeah, but she's basically just Ryoko from Tenchi.
But I love Tenchi, so that explains
so there we go. Yeah.
But I mean, I'll give you that Catra. But I'd probably, is it 100% horrible? No, I'd probably give it like a 2 out of 5.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
But it's not. It's not
for you.
It's not for me. I don't like it, and that's fine. But that doesn't make me a bad person because I don't like it. That doesn't make me an intolerant person because I don't like it. Just like, if you guys like it, that doesn't make you a bad person for liking it. I will not think any less of you in any way because I understand that you're not me. And that's okay. Because, in the real world, people can disagree and it's still okay.
Yeah, believe it or not.
I don't have to call you names.
Get off of Twitter in the real world.
They don't have to shame you, call you names.
So Geeky is going to take her fandom and her dollars and spend them on more classic toys from Mattel.
Yeah, like the Starburst She-Ra doll that's coming to PowerCon.
Yeah.
That someone needs to buy me.
That's where
puppy dog eyes, please.
You're talking about me, right?
Yeah, because it'd be weird if somebody else bought it for me.
Okay, yeah, it would be really weird, but you know what? People probably would. but no. So
I would brush their hair happily. Anyway,
so
the dolls, not them, because that's just weird.
Oh God, yeah, don't do that. Some people would like that, but don't do that.
I won't brush your hair. Sorry.
But Geeky's gonna take her fandom and her dollars and go spend them elsewhere, and that's fine. And they can take their new She-Ra fandom and they can do their fan art or whatever they're gonna do on Tumblr. Well, if Tumblr's still around. So that's that.
The reason I was excited about this was because it's everything we've been saying.
Yeah, which we figure, but this is what's going on with all these shows. This is what's going on with all these comics. We have people coming in that are just like, I'm just going to make up whatever, and we don't have. I mean, really, I blame the companies though too. You look at companies like Disney, you look at companies like Marvel, and they're not really being very good stewards sometimes over these existing franchises. They need to have somebody there to. Now, if it was like Disney's in-house characters, they would be cracking the whip.
Oh, I know. There's like so many guidelines on those you don't understand.
But with Star Wars and Marvel, I think since they acquired the IP, I hate to say it, I don't think they care as much. They're like the stepchildren.
Oh, they're starting to care because it's biting them in the butt.
Yeah, but they don't care as much. Like if somebody messes with Mickey, it's like game over. You mess with, even like DuckTales, I'm sure went through a lot more of approval process than most of the stuff coming out of Lucasfilm right now, because that's Disney's stuff. That's their characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's their legacy. They do seem to care more about their characters. But I think, in this case, is like DreamWorks picked up the rights from Mattel and they just kind of did whatever with it. And this is what happened.
That's what I'm saying. There should have been a middle ground. You can do new things, and that's okay. I think people would have been much more accepting of new things if there had been two things done. One, you had some, you gave a little bit in return and kept it familiar. And two, if you hadn't let off with, here's a new look, and if you don't like it, it's because you're a misogynist incel asshole, and you just can't get off on She-Ra. As people, I find hilarious because now people are getting off on her as an underage minor now, which is even funnier. Right? I mean, I'm just like,
oh god,
but whatever.
Kedora, is that what they're calling it? Kedora?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
god.
like they're underage, but
I know,
that's so much better.
That is so much better.
But go ahead. Anyway,
are we gonna wrap this one up?
Yeah,
okay.
We should have a while ago.
This is what happens when we get talking about She-Ra. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.